Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon, and I'll be your life coach this evening. So today we have a treat. We're going to be looking at an interview I did this past week with another fellow life coach, and what she works on is being limitless. And that notion, that idea, that concept was really driven by Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins is one of the greats when it comes to life coaches. And when he's talking about being limitless, he's also talking about your highest potential. He's talking about reaching new heights and don't allow insufficient behavior to take over your life. So if you're almost successful, why are you not fully successful? What is stopping you from reaching the top tier, the top floor? There's something, whether it be in your life or in your mind, that is stopping you. And the idea of becoming limitless is an idea and a mindset to be at that, to not allow limits to define what you can and what you cannot do in your life. And I find this happens a lot in the schools. And a teacher will say, "Johnny, don't do that. Don't do this." Well, what should Johnny do? Because if you know anything about positivity or mindset work, it takes 3 positives to outweigh 1 negative. So unless that teacher is super duper positive after a negative, that child's going to feel some type of way. And they're going to grow up some type of way. And the mind that was once limitless, full of imagination, of wonder, of dreams, ambition, dies. And we wonder why people are not ambitious in high school, in college, and then in the workforce. They go so far and they learn, I did that once and I got yelled at. I don't want to get yelled at again. Why are you afraid of, to make a mistake? Why are you afraid to get yelled at? And yeah, I know yelling at, being yelled at doesn't feel good. But what do you do after you're yelled at? Do you sulk in a corner? Do you listen? Oh, I got yelled at. I'm not supposed to do this. I can't do that. Or do you say, what am I going to do? What's next? And when I was a swim coach, I frequently dealt with students who felt they couldn't do something. Be it they weren't brave enough, they weren't strong enough, they didn't know how to swim, so they didn't have enough knowledge. How many times have you put limits on yourself because you weren't ready or you felt you weren't inadequate in some area? And I think a common misnomer is just go to school, just go to college, get a degree and you'll be fine. Okay. Well, you go to college, you get a degree, and you also maybe get some student loans. And then when you graduate, I don't really like this job, but you're stuck. Or many people are stuck. So they're in a career they thought they would be so in love with, but after doing it for 2-3 years, it's not so much the apple of their eye anymore. They don't want to do the job, whether it be the workers they're around, the environment, the administration, the bosses. Because your workplace should be healthy. You should have some type of joy when you're going into work. And I remember when I was 18, I was going into work. I was doing finance and accounting at the time. And I remember my first year in finance. Loved it. I loved everything about it. Yeah, I had some failures. I had some ups and downs, but I had more ups. And I focused on those ups. I focused on where I grew. Even in the failures, I focused on those to how I can grow in my adult life, because I'm only 18. I'm just starting out being an adult. So doing great. And I'm doing what needs to be done first year, but then the second year I'm in accounting. I switched it up a little bit because I wanted to do both. I wanted to do finance, business finance, and I wanted to do accounting. And I thought it was pretty similar. I didn't feel like it was going to be drastically different, but it was. How mundane accounting was. Every 30 days you have the same thing. Closing, opening, balance the books, organized, like organize all the spreadsheets, whatever, right? Ouch. I remember I was going into work and I was looking at the sidewalk, and the sidewalk is separated and it has like divots or cracks for the water to go through for ease of use. To be honest, I don't even know what those cracks are for. So if anyone in chat knows, let me know. I remember vividly seeing every single crack go right by. And I asked myself, I said, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I badged into work, and I got to work. And I finished up the year. But I didn't go back. I said, I'm going to do something different. And that's when teaching came in. I wanted to be a teacher. I thought the money was going to make me happy, and regardless of what I was going to be dealing with, the money will make it better. Maybe a little bit of retail therapy here, a vacation here and there. Buy me something nice, But that wasn't the case. No matter how many things I bought, no matter how much money was in my bank account, I felt like something was missing. And Anshu Todi says that in the interview. People seek help when they're down and out, not when they're good. But if you think about going to the dentist, you want to go to the dentist when your teeth are hurting, when when you have a tooth that's giving you problems and a certain type of pain? No, because more often than not, if you're feeling some type of pain in the tooth, it's too late already. And now you're going to have to get a root canal, an extraction, maybe some drilling is going to occur. That's why people don't think going to the dentist is their most enjoyable thing. And I love dentists. I love doctors. They're great people. However, my least favorite doctor is a dentist. But I see my dentist more than I see every single one of the other doctors. Optometrist, maybe once a year. Regular doctor, once a year. I don't need a trainer because I go to the gym every day. But when it comes to prevention, preventative measures to be better, to stay consistent, because life's going to throw some crap at you. Guarantee it. Every day is going to be a new day. And you don't know what's going to happen. You might get hit with a wrecking ball, Miley Cyrus, and be out. Laid out. What's next? Do you complain, say you're a victim, and do nothing about it? This is just what life gave me. Life's unfair. Well, if you didn't know that, welcome to the club. Because the person who should care about you the most is you. You need to look in the mirror and you need to start telling yourself what you need in your life. And then you need to start going out and getting it. Become limitless. Do not allow yourself to be defined by other people's measures, by other people's quotas. You make your own decisions. But yet, we have a world full of puppets. People who follow the crowd, people who are all on the trends. How about this? Let's start a new trend. How about a trend of self-growth, of empowering your mind to be resilient to all the negativity of the world, to challenge yourself every single day, to not allow weakness to take over when strength is needed. I would like to see that become a trend, because if it did, how many people will get out of their current situations and become something more? Countless people. And I want to see that. And when I started Reverend Concepts, it wasn't to become rich and famous. It was to help people fly. It was to help people understand that they have wings, so why are they walking? If you have shackles on your feet, let's figure out how to get those off. Become triumphant on your journey and toward your goals, and succeed where others have failed. And don't allow their failure to say, that defines what I'm going to accomplish or what I do. You define your own life. And if you're going to continue to allow people to define what you're able to do, you're going to keep on living the life that you're having. But we want something better. We want a new version of ourselves, a better version of ourselves. Because living life with a dial-up type of system, AOL days, if you're old enough to know what AOL is, why don't we become faster? Why don't we become more efficient? Stop being stagnant in what you do and give more. And if you think for a second that you don't have more to give and that you're giving everything you got, I guarantee you, you are not. I work with clients who have done great things in their life. They make wonderful money. Yet, when I work with them, I can see where they don't want to push themselves. And when I give them a list of homework, because after the session is done, they're getting homework from me. And it better be done. I choose who I work with. Do you have that power? Can you say, I'm going to work with this person or I'm going to work with this person? No. Many people take what they get. Don't take what you can get. Get what's yours. And then whoever wants to attain that, make sure they're going to help your cause, your mission, and your progression. A lot of you are hanging out with the wrong people. Maybe they're negative, full of drama, not ambitious enough to go after their dreams and their goals. Yeah, I understand it's not an easy task, but no one said life is going to be easy. So get up, get to work. And that leads to us becoming limitless. us understanding that there is no ceiling for our success. There is no ceiling for our progress. There is no ceiling for how much money we can earn, how much happiness we can attain, how many people we can help in the world. The only limit is in your brain. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't. Understand that. And that's powerful. So let's get into a little bit about Limitless. And what I do, I have many blogs. You can go to my website and you can check it out. You can say, okay, well, guess what? This is going to be something I'm interested in, and we're going to check it out. So we're at the website. And if you have been in the previous stream or the first time, welcome. Welcome back. But when you type in RevenConcepts.com, you're going to notice you have 3 tabs. So you can join a mailing list, you can sign up for a session, or you can enter the website. So let's enter the website. Let's see what's going on. And I have some resources for you to understand, to learn from, to digest, and to help put you on the track to being better. So we want to go to blogs because there's a lot of content in the blogs, and there's some in videos too, of course, but let's get to the blogs. And if you go down to the search window, we're going to figure out how can we be limitless? How can we be limitless? And you just type in what you want, and magically things pop up. Remind the world. What does that mean? Remind the world. It means that you have something to offer. It means that you're not on this earth for no good reason. You have a purpose you have not yet fulfilled, so you need to start to fulfill it. So you need to remind the world why you are here. So many people are walking timidly around, and they're so concerned about not hurting someone's feelings. Well, if their feelings are hurt by the truth, hopefully that truth wakes them up. Make them remember. What is that? That's your legacy. Showing people how it's done. Saying, this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how you're supposed to live life. And there's a part in the interview with Anshu. We talked about a coach's life. Do you think my life is perfect? Do you think my life is without issues and problems? Do you think I don't have to wake up in the morning and battle with the idea that I could just stay in bed and take it easy? Because sometimes my brain wants to be weak. Sometimes my mind wants to give in. And my body wants to be lazy. But I have told it, all 3 of them, several times, that no matter what you think you need, it's already determined what's going to happen. So if you're lazy, get up. If you're tired, get up. If the bed feels really comfortable and it's cold outside, get up. It doesn't matter. And it's not so much about the motivation. Because I know there's motivational coaches and they will say anything. You break your leg, keep on walking. The house fell on you, crawl out of it and keep on moving. Ain't no stopping you. I understand that type of mentality. They're saying that nothing can stop you. Because even if you have a broken leg, or even if your house burned down or fell, or if some hardship came upon you, you can overcome that. And it might not be immediate. It might not be that all of a sudden, oh, I had a problem. Oh, I fixed it. It might take a day, a month, maybe even a year or a couple years. That's the process of growth, of becoming better. And then we have areas we talked about. The prize of life is, where do you want to be in your life? And setting boundaries is simply talking about understanding what you don't want in your life. So when you're limitless, you say you have no limits. But you need to also identify what you don't want. And I tell clients all the time, it's important to understand what you want, and it's important to understand what you don't want. And if you don't have a list of both, that's what you're doing. You're going to create a list of what you want and what you don't want, what you will accept and what you won't accept. And when you have a list of those things, you're going to notice more progress in your life, because you identified what you are not going to do. So many people on New Year's, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lose weight. How about you make a New Year's resolution saying you're not going to give up this year? You make a New Year's resolution saying you're not going to give in to peer pressure, or what society tells you you need to do, or what's best for you, because apparently everyone knows what's best for you. And I'm not even telling you that you need to be successful. I'm not even telling you that you should want to be limitless. But what are your dreams? And I can guarantee you that you have ambitious dreams. You have big goals. And that's not everyone. Some people are content living in their mom's basement playing PS5. This is not for them. They can be happy right where they are. But will they have regrets when they're older? Will they regret how much time they wasted? Will they regret doing what they did and not what they should have done? And that's a time thing. And the best way I can tell you, if you're going to have a regret in your life, is to do some introspective thinking. To look inside you and say, am I full? Not by food, right? Burgers and fries and milkshakes. No. Not by being full. But is your life full? Do you feel as if you have accomplished a purpose, a goal, that you're trying to accomplish a purpose or a goal? Because people feel like they need help when they're empty. I feel empty. How many relationships end because someone feels a certain way? How many relationships end because someone feels like they're not getting what they need? But feelings have nothing to do with your relationship. They're yours. How many people think their partner makes them happy? No, your partner shouldn't make you happy. You should make your own self happy. Your partner helps embellish happiness in your life, makes it a little bit sweeter, but it's not the sole reason. So becoming limitless is understanding the boundaries that you have set in your life are now gone. Toss them to the wayside and say, no, thank you. Make new boundaries that exceed past your comfort zone. Because when you're in your comfort zone, that's a nice, comfortable space. It's like your bed in the morning. Very comfy, cozy. You don't want to be there. You don't want to stay there. Because growth happens outside of the comfort zone. So create new limits constantly. And when you reach that limit, create more limits. So we're going to get into the interview with Anshu, and we're going to understand where she's coming from. How does she operate? And it's going to be a treat for sure. Welcome, Anshu Todi. Thank you so much for interviewing with me today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Michael. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here with you. And I hope I can add a lot of value to your
Oh,
audience.
definitely, of course. So, what we're going to be covering today is we're going to be talking about you and what you do as a coach. So, I understand you are a limitless life coach. What does limitless life coach mean?
So basically, Michael, what it is about is our life is not binded to one thing, right?
Mhm,
You require good health along with good relationships, with good finances. You need to be satisfied and fulfilled in your career. So it's about basically being limitless in every area of your life. I did not, when I began my journey, I was more into a holistic health.
mm,
And that was where I felt that there was something missing because finally, end of the day, if you have good health, but you do not have good finances or good relationships, again, you are not fulfilled.
mhm.
So that's where this limitless thing came into the picture, where we want the best of both worlds. We need to be higher on the spiritual side as well. So it's about having everything in your life and being able to tackle all areas of life with wisdom, with resilience, and being limitless. So that's what it is all about. I
And
help people in achieving that in their lives.
and I love what you said. There's something missing in your life. And what I find with many of the clients that come to me, they have something missing, right? They have a worry, they have a concern, there's a problem that needs to be tackled, right? And most
Right.
often, there's an obstacle that's stopping them. And that could be the mind, it could be a person, a certain environment, situation. But what I find as a coach is we have to be able to go in there and understand that type of problem. So, how do you find yourself to be equipped to handle those issues that people will have? So, maybe by your own personal life experience or just from your training in general.
I would say again, life is never about one thing.
Hmm.
It's a holistic thing. We are not what we are just through our life experiences. We are a complete picture of not only what life has thrown at us and how we have handled it,
Hmm.
but also what we have learned on the way.
Mm.
What are the learnings that we have picked up on our life, be it through experiences, be it through professional trainings. So it's a complete thing. I am a package of all of those. Life has been fair and unfair both to me.
Hmm.
And I have learned a lot of lessons from the time, I started understanding things. There have been different kind of challenges, health challenges, relationship challenges. And that's where, I learned, I kept learning because life keeps throwing at you different challenges till the time you don't learn from them.
And I completely agree with you learn from your own life, from your failures, from your mistakes, from your challenges, etc., and then all the other things also. So simply
Yes.
just being able to learn from that is going to give you wisdom to bestow upon people.
Yes, absolutely. And upon that, again, it's not enough. Only the experiences is also not enough, because you also need to learn from the industry leaders, the people who have already done it. You need to learn from them as well, because they know some things that you do not know about, because you can't do all the mistakes by yourself and learn from it.
Hmm.
You need to learn from other people's mistakes, and you need to learn from their wisdom, their things that they have done, great in life. You need to just pick up those things from them and implement them,
Hmm.
because a knowledge, when implemented in the correct manner, it becomes your own. No, knowledge is no one's property.
Hmm.
It does not belong to anyone. It becomes yours when you implement it.
Right.
So I would say both of these things have combined together, my experiences plus the professional learning that I have done under some of the great leaders of the industry.
Hmm.
And that gives me a very good perspective on the challenges that they are facing. And most of the time, I find that it first boils down to the mindset.
Hmm.
Mindset is the thing, the beliefs they have, the limited the limiting beliefs, and the attitude towards things, the perception, the factor of not letting go of certain things they're holding on to. Most of the time, those are the things which are not letting them move ahead, and they are facing all the challenges related to that. So that's why a major chunk of my work is also around mindset.
Hmm.
I
Definitely.
help them first develop their mindset, get into the right frame of mind, beliefs, and look inwards. Most of
Hmm.
the time, we keep looking outwards, but that's not where we find the answers. We
Love it.
always find it within us.
Love
Yeah.
that. So, great point about don't reinvent the wheel. And I
Yes.
find a lot of people are like, I want to do something new, and they try to reinvent the wheel. So, success, when it comes to success, right, and to be having a life full of abundance, you don't have to start from ground zero all the time. There has been people who have achieved what you're trying to achieve, and it might not be in the same manner you're trying to achieve it, because what you're going to do is going to be different than what they will do. However, they have gone so far, and you can pick up where they left off rather than starting off from scratch and then going on. So that's why having training from coaches or from people who have been successful in the field is essential, because it's going to allow you to be further on that journey quicker. And
Yes.
just understanding that alone is going to save you valuable time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
So,
so true.
so what I find that people struggle with the most is where do they begin, right? Because they have a problem. They might have never heard of a life coach or a limitless coach or just a coach to help them succeed in general. So they're confused. They just kind of go through life. They go through the motions of life, right? They just take what life gives them. So, how could a person identify that they need to hire a coach like you or myself to get to the next level?
The first thing, if you're not satisfied in your life, if you feel that life is just going around in the same circle, in the same loop, and you don't feel you're reaching anywhere,
Mm,
you don't feel the sense of satisfaction, you don't feel the sense of fulfillment, and life is very, very monotonous, and you have a lot of a big list, big bucket list, I would say,
mhm,
of dreams that are unfulfilled. That's the time you need to realize that you require help,
mhm,
because you can't do it all by yourself. As I said, that you can't make all the mistakes by yourself and learn from them. That would take you the whole life,
mhm.
and even then it might not be enough. So you require someone like a coach or a mentor to hold your hands and guide you. So that's the time you need to look out for someone. And the person that you choose for yourself would be the person whose values align with you.
Oh, yes,
I
definitely.
would say that you should be able to relate to that person or mentor in form of values. If you feel that the value system that they have, you also have the same value system. They might have a different approach towards life. Of course, they are unique and you are unique.
Mhm,
But till the time there is somewhere, the values are aligning to each other and you are able to relate to them as an individual, go all out, approach them and, enroll for their mentorship. And they would be able to hold your hands and help you join the dots together.
Hmm.
Because what's missing from your life is you're not able to join the dots. You
Hmm.
probably might have a picture of where you want to be, but you do not know which path to take and how to, join all the different dots and reach there. They will be able to help you in doing that.
Definitely. And I love what you said about you have to be able to resonate with this person, right? So just a different word that you are using. You should be able to feel comfortable with someone because if you're working with someone, especially someone who's trying to help you become better, and they're going to be giving you advice and giving you information, and at the end of the day, it's going to be the client's choice to either follow it or to ignore it. But if you're going to invest in yourself and have a coach or have a mentor, it would be advisable to have someone you trust to a certain
Yes.
extent where if they tell you to do something, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do this. And if you hire someone where you don't feel comfortable with doing that, doing what they say, then probably, it could be a wrong fit because you should want to get better for yourself, but then you should also be willing to do what it takes. So if the person, a mentor, is in a place where you would like to be, then you would like to see that and then want to emanate it also. And that
Yes.
leads to the next part, right? So you found your person, and they are the person that you're going to put your faith in. But let's say this coach maybe doesn't have their own life together. And I'm going to agree that sometimes you don't have everything together, right? There's going to be problems, there's going to be just a bunch of mayhem life throws at you, but you have to get over it, right? So it does come back to mindset. So, what would you say to someone who is in a field of trying to help people to be better, but they're not doing that for themselves?
If it is, see, Michael, very good question. I love this question. There will be a lot of time when there are people who are really having the first thing I would say in anything is intention.
Hmm.
Everything. We say things like karma.
Mm.
Karma is nothing but your intention. You do not have a bad karma only when you murder someone. Even when you think of murdering someone, you have a bad karma.
Hmm.
So it's all about intention. And even if you're helping someone, but the intention behind it is not to do good to them.
Mm.
On the outwards, you are actually doing good to them, but the intention is not right. That's not a good karma for you. So there are two approaches I would say. So they might be mayhem in a coach's life, and we are all human beings, and that does happen all the time. Where maybe I'm saying something to my mentee or the person that I'm holding hands and guiding. For some time, if I'm not able to practice a certain thing, it's absolutely fine. Maybe for a short period of time, I'm in a complete different situation, and I'm asking him to meditate, but I'm myself not meditating for the last couple of weeks. It's absolutely all right. There's no hard and fast rule that you need to be doing it yourself every single day. But if you are not a person who meditates at all, and then you teach the other person that you should meditate every single day, and you never practice it, then it's not all right.
Right.
So that is one thing. In short periods, you might not do the same stuff that you're talking about. That's absolutely acceptable. And that would happen.
Hmm.
That would happen with anyone and everyone because life is consistently changing. We will be between different situations, and maybe we are not good health wise. Maybe, we lost a loved one. Maybe, something might happen in life where we are not able to, go through all the regimen
Hmm.
in the life. But it should not be where we are really not practicing that at all and we are just preaching.
Right.
You need to walk the talk, end of the day.
Hmm.
And second is your
Yeah,
intention.
definitely.
Yes.
So, great points. We are all going to be going through our own things. And to expect someone to be always happy and confident would be incorrect because the act of confidence is not feeling confident in the moment. So if you're going to be doing something for the first time, you're not going to be 100% confident. Now you might be confident in yourself, but you might not be confident in that situation. And the act of confidence comes after doing the action. So when it
Yes.
comes to coaching, some coaches believe that, oh, I'm always happy, I'm always going to be great, and I'm never going to be down. And just because I have this mindset, one of the things about mindset is being true to yourself. How are you feeling? Every morning when I wake up, I do a self assessment on myself. I say, how am I feeling today? Am I 100%? Am I 50%? What's going on? What did I do yesterday that's not helping me today? And just that little method every morning, right? It's a small part of my day where I just look inside and I internalize who I am, who I'm becoming. It allows me to adjust. And
Right.
that is where we're going. How can someone adjust where their life is going if they don't hire a coach?
I would say one thing, Michael, that I think we already spoke about it. So, if a person has not hired a coach, also,
Hmm.
it's not like it's end of the road for them,
Right.
because there have been a lot of people, a lot of self-realized people also in this world who did not have anyone and who found their own way. But that is for you to decide as an individual how much self actualized you are, that only you can know. If you know yourself enough, if you feel your vision, your purpose, everything is very clear to you, and you are ready to, take the path of, doing it all alone, all by yourself, and you are confident enough of doing that, you feel you have enough tools in your hands and you're self sufficient,
Hmm.
go all ahead. But right now, the state of the world, every mind is in a too much of a chaos. There is
Agreed.
so much of
Definitely.
a chaos we are in, that, and so much of information is thrown at us from all the directions. You open YouTube, you have everything available over there. It's not like there is dearth of information,
Hmm.
but this too much of information is becoming so heavy now, people do not know what to implement and what not to implement.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why you require a coach,
Hmm.
so that someone is there to tell you that this is exactly what you need to do.
Hmm.
Out of all the information, all the stack of hay, you are able to get that needle out with that help.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you might keep searching for
Right.
like years together and you still might never find it. But you are the best person to judge it. As I said, how self actualized you are depends on that.
Hmm. Definitely. Beautifully said. There's a story of a Buddhist monk, and he has become enlightened after many years of studying and meditation and practice. And he had a student come to him, and he asked how long did it take for him to become enlightened, and he gave like 20 years or something like that, like amount of years. And the student asked, will it take me that long also? And the teacher replied, it's going to take as long as it needs to, number one, because enlightenment is going to come for, different times for, to different people. But he said, if I had a teacher, it would have came a lot sooner. And I believe that's why a life coach is so central, because yes, you can go through this journey and in 20 years become successful, or in 20 years get the life you want, or in 20 years be happy. But why are you going to wait 20 years? Why can't you
Exactly.
find someone who you resonate with, who's going to hold your hand, as you were saying, and bring you to where you want to be sooner than later?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. That's
so
what the
yeah,
point
I
is. Yeah.
definitely agree with what you said. Any last points?
I personally, Michael, what I feel is, in the beginning, you had asked me the question that, how do I coach my people? Is it
Hmm.
based on the trainings that I have taken, or is it based on my life experiences? So I'll tell you that, I had enough experiences in my life.
Hmm.
I had a very, very, I would say awesome life, where life threw in a lot of challenges at me. And I was able to, understand the level of resilience that I had, the kind of willpower that I had, the survival capacity I had. But frankly speaking, my life took a turn only when I came across a life coach,
Mm.
my mentor. So life can teach you a lot of stuff, and you will become wiser and wiser with the life that you're leading and the way you are tackling all the situations. But when you get a mentor, a guide, a guru kind of
Mm.
a person, all your learnings, they get on the right path, and you are able to kind of accelerate that journey forward. That's the huge difference that a mentor can make in your life. And
Agreed.
that has done for me. So I have great regards for mentors and coaches.
Hmm.
If their intention is right, if you are able to align with them, please go ahead and get yourself a mentor. That's the message.
Yep. And I remember when first woke up, I was in college and I had everything, right? I was going to schools, getting good grades. I had a lot of friends. I had money. And it wasn't until someone asked me, was I happy? And I was like, of course I'm happy. I have everything I could want. I have everything I could
Right.
need. But then they asked me again, and they looked at me. And this time they didn't look at me. They looked at my soul. They looked at who I was on the inside. And they said, but are you happy? And from there, my whole world turned upside down
Right.
because I was living a life that I was told to live, right? From the school system, this is what you're supposed to do. But it wasn't my dream, it was someone else's dream. And when I realized that, I was like, a lot of work. And it took over 3 years for me just to get to this type of mindset. And this mindset has been evolving over the years and growing and becoming better. And what I've learned, I can teach people a lot sooner than they would ever learn it.
Yes.
And what you said is having a mentor and having someone who has went through things, obstacles, life in general, you can avoid a lot of those mistakes. And that's
Absolutely.
why wisdom is so powerful. And you get wisdom a lot from your parents, and if you don't have that type of wisdom in your life, then the next best thing is to get a mentor or a life coach. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
Undoubtedly.
yes. Anshu Todi, I would like to thank you so much for taking some time out with me today and having this interview. And if anyone would like to work with Anshu Todi, all her links will be in the description box below. Feel free to reach out to her on any of those platforms and just say, hey, you're interested in working with her. And I'm sure she would be delighted to get in touch with you.
Yes, absolutely. Even my website is almost done. So
Mm.
you can reach out to me on www.anshutodi.com. Yes, I'll be all pleased to work with you. If you find things that I'm saying relevant to you, it's a pleasure to connect with you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Michael. And it was a pleasure being here, and a great set of questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. And we're back to getting to where we become limitless, to getting to the part of our life where we can start to live uninvited by the weights and the shackles that have been holding us back, the anchors in our life. And Anshu is just another coach, another person that you can seek out for assistance and guidance to your best self, to the best version of you, to your most ambitious life, to your most dreamed about life. Because if you're lost, why would you stay there? Is there a reason why you're staying there? Is it the fear of the work? Is it the fear of the success? Is it the fear of failing? I don't have many clients who are afraid to fail. And it's not so much that they're afraid to fail, but it's because I'm right with them, their whole journey. What I ask them, I know they can do. I don't ask anything of them
that I know they can't handle. So it's not failing, it's trying at that point. So if any of them decided not to try, that's on them. I do have a pretty good eye when I'm interviewing new clients to see if I want to work with you. Because it's not so much what you want, but what are you willing to do to get it? Because yes, it would be nice to get a new job, to have an abundance of wealth, to have anything in your life and not have to worry about limits. That would be nice. To go on a vacation every single day, every weekend, whatever you want. It would be nice. However, work is needed. Work should be involved in your day-to-day. So just doing that and understanding that what you do today is going to benefit you tomorrow. So a mentor, a coach, those are the people you should be seeking when you're trying to get to the next level. And if you can't afford one right now, there's plenty of content. I have plenty of free content on my website, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. It's there for you to check it out, to use, to learn from. And as you learn more and progress, great, you're making progress. And then when you get to a point where you're like, I want to get to the next level, because maybe you hit a plateau. Happens a lot in fitness where you hear, oh, you hit a plateau and then you can't lose any more weight, or you don't see any difference in your body physique. That's when you should look for someone to bring you to that next level, to boost you up, to get you where you want to be, to help you get to where you want to be. So simply understanding the idea of being limitless. Anything you want, you can have, but you have to work for it, and it must be good. And by good, I don't mean necessarily positive, right? Because maybe you want chocolate. Chocolate is tasty, but is it healthy? Not necessarily. But sometimes a reward is necessary. Determine the things you need in your life. Is that capable of being done by yourself? And if not, that's when you're looking for a coach. And friends can't help you. As much as they mean well, friends are always going to sugarcoat. Well, not always. I take that back. Many friends are going to sugarcoat. You're going to hear this a lot if someone's losing weight, maybe. You're beautiful just the way you are. I love your curves. I love your hips, whatever. Maybe a guy. Just leave her. You don't need her. Okay. A lot of bad advice from friends. So I like to avoid that. And I tell my clients to avoid that. I tell them you can ask your friends, but grain of salt. What you take away from them, understand. That's their opinion. That's their feelings. Because they may be having very difficult lives from following their own advice. Whatever it may be. Could be relationship, could be career, could be health. So start to seek people who are going to show you a better way, who are going to be able to guide you and say, all right, this is where we are. Where do we want to go? Having a roadmap to the rest of your life, having a roadmap to your success. That is the key. And the concept of becoming limitless is just one factor. The concept of finding your highest potential self is just one factor. It's all pieces of one puzzle, your mind. Understanding your mindset and what comes first, what needs to come first, essential. It is essential. So it's not so much you need to get your life in order. You need to get your mind and your thoughts in order first. And take away all the fences, all the boundaries, all the false ideologies and beliefs that you have been told that you live by that no longer serve you. And when those are gone, replace them with something that's going to help promote growth. And having a coach, that's easy street. Everything is done. You don't have to read an article. You don't have to watch a movie. The coach is going to be able to give you all that information. They're going to be able to verbalize what it is you need to hear when you need to hear it. But the work after that's said is by you. I can talk to you all day about running on the track a mile and all the things that happen when you're running on the track and things that you can do before running, like stretching and make sure you have a good meal and making sure it's not too hot out when you're running so you don't faint or have a heat stroke. I could talk to you about that, but does that help if you're running? It does not. Because when you start running, now your heart's racing and your mind is fighting against the idea of pushing past 40%. And the 40% rule is when your brain reaches 40%, it says it cannot go anymore. So it says stop. Don't push yourself. Take it easy. Tell your brain that, sorry, we're not going to take it easy anymore. I've been taking it easy for the past 3, 4, 5, 10 years, whatever it be. Easy is done. Being lazy is done. Now it's time to be limitless. Now it's time to be proactive in our growth, in our new life that we're going to be having, right? We're making room for what we're going to have. Now, and I would like to thank my guest again, Anshu Todi. Wonderful interview, wonderful person. Please follow her on all her platforms. Show support. Like, comment, subscribe. The same thing I would like. Show your support. Share with a friend, a family member, maybe someone who's going through a rough time. Because not every day is easy. Every day is going to have a challenge. Every day is going to have a difficulty, an obstacle. And it's up to you to decide if you're going to allow that obstacle, that challenge, that difficulty to define you, or are you going to let that experience refine you into a better person? I would like for you to refine yourself. Similar to a jeweler making a perfect cut on a diamond increases the diamond's value. Your life your life has so much value also. You just have to put in the work, put in the effort so you can shine. So your whole life can start to become the life that was always meant to be. So do not wait for another day, another year, another moment. Right now is the time. So that's what we're looking at. Welcome, Tiska. Missed you. I'm not sure of your question, but simply understanding, being limitless, that is what you're capable of. There's no boundaries. The only boundaries you have is going to be the ones that you put in your mind. So I think Tiska has a question. So ask your question, just be precise. I know maybe YouTube might be doing something, or if you just regular chat, that's fine. We're going to be closing out the session. So it's going to give Tiska a second to either ask a question or we'll figure it out. So not too sure what he's trying to say, but maybe looking at the words and I look at it from a positive standpoint, figuring out how to be more positive, how to be more enlightened, how to be more proactive, how to be more ambitious. We can figure that out. But again, if you need to ask me any questions, coachinginsession@gmail.com. Feel free to ask me any questions, and then from there you can get some answers. I will definitely use them as topics. I will be able to email you back and say, hey, this is what I believe, this is what I think, what you should do. And just to answer Sister's question, so he doesn't like lizards, so why does he dream about them if he doesn't like them? Well, the thing about dreams is if they're on our mind, then we are going to be dreaming about them. So maybe things you dislike. That's why some people have dreams of snakes, or they have maybe dreams of being in a car accident or someone getting fatally hurt. When your mind is, sleeping, it's having millions of images go in your brain. And you remember only a few dreams. Sometimes you wake up and you say you didn't dream, but you did dream. You don't recall it. So if you think you don't like something, your brain is like, oh, you don't like it, so it's on your mind. So you have to get it off your mind. Think about something else. And I know it could be difficult to switch your focus to ignore, but it's not so much ignoring. Think of it as a person who's maybe bully, negative, doesn't give you any benefit in your life. So you're going to put them to the wayside. You're not going to think about that person when you are on a beach or if you're on vacation, because that person doesn't matter. What matters is the moment you have right now. So focus on what you're doing in your life, not so much what you don't like. Because if you don't like something, great, don't go after it. What do you like? Our minds are naturally negative to focus on what we don't like. So we have to start to rewire our brain and say, hey, I'm going to focus on what I like. what I want to do, what I want to achieve. So again, Tuska, sorry I know you just got here. I think Egypt has different time, but the stream is ending. Thank you so much for your support. I always love having you in. Before you go, I think I don't know if I can. I'm not too familiar how to do that. I have to figure it out, but oh yeah, there we go. So, because I know you're always in chat, and I wanted to add you as a moderator for if it ever gets too rowdy. So you gotta be in your best behavior, all right? But for now, going to be closing out this session. Our next session will be on Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we stream live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Look forward to more interviews, look forward to more blog posts, and look forward to becoming a better version of yourself. Until then, take care.